My daughter blocked me after I refused to pay for her wedding. 5 years later, she needed my signature. The first message came on a Thursday afternoon. A name I hadn't seen on my phone in 5 years. Her name. For a moment, I didn't breathe. Not because I was happy to see it, those days had died long ago, but because of the weight it carried. The silence between us had been an ocean, and now, suddenly, the tide had shifted. "Dad, I need your help." The words sat on the screen like a loaded gun. I stared at them, my thumb hovering, my pulse steady. Not fast, not frantic, steady, cold. I knew this moment would come. I had waited for it in the quiet of sleepless nights, in the bitterness of unspoken words. She had shut me out, blocked me, erased me from her carefully curated life. All because I had refused to bankroll her fairy tale wedding. That day, she had called me selfish, cheap. She had spit venom in the form of words I never thought my daughter would use. And then, silence. Now, 5 years later, her silence cracked. I didn't reply immediately. I let the message burn on the screen, its desperation dripping through the pixels. She needed me. That alone was enough to make me smile. Not warmly, but thin, sharp, calculated. The world has a way of circling back. I remember her face the day she turned her back on me. Not the tears, not the rage, but the certainty. She believed she no longer needed me, that her future husband would provide everything, that her perfect life required no room for someone as stingy as me. I watched her walk out of my house with the kind of arrogance only youth can carry. I remember the dress she wore, red, too bright, too bold. I remember thinking, she will regret this, and she did. The next messages confirmed what I already suspected. The marriage was over. The man she had defended with such venom had betrayed her. Infidelity, violence, debt. A house bought in both their names now tangled in divorce court. And she couldn't sell it without me, without my signature. It almost felt poetic. She had erased me from her life, but my name still carried weight on her foundation. She asked me to meet. She said it was urgent. I agreed. Not because I owed her, but because I wanted to see her face when the past finally caught her. The cafe was quiet, almost too quiet. She arrived late, always late. Her face was thinner, tired, the arrogance cracked. She sat down across from me without a hug, without eye contact. "I just need your signature, Dad," she said quickly, pushing papers toward me like a bribe. Her hands trembled, though she tried to hide it. I studied her, the daughter I had raised, the daughter who once held my hand as a child and whispered that I was her hero. Now, reduced to clipped words and trembling desperation. I didn't touch the papers. Instead, I reached into my coat pocket and slid my phone across the table. "Check your email," I said. My voice was calm. Too calm. She frowned, confused. She unlocked her phone, fingers twitching as she scrolled. Her face drained color as she opened the folder I had forwarded. 2019. Screenshots of her messages. The one she had sent me the day she blocked me. Words she must have thought vanished into the void. Words that had carved scars deep into me. "You're pathetic. You'll die alone. I don't need you, ever." Her lips parted. No sound came out. I leaned back, watching her eyes widen as she scrolled. Each message hit her like a strike. She had forgotten, but I hadn't. "You needed me then," I said quietly, "and you need me now." Her hands shook harder. "Dad, I didn't mean those things. I was angry. You can't hold on to—" I cut her off with a raised hand. Calm, sharp, final. I held on to them because they were the truth you gave me. She looked at me as though I were a stranger. And maybe I was. I had spent 5 years carrying her words, not as a wound, but as a blade. Honed, waiting. Now I handed that blade back. She tried again, her voice breaking. "Please, Dad, I'm losing everything. Just sign, please." I let the silence stretch. The clatter of dishes in the cafe seemed louder, crueler. Then, slowly, I slid the papers back toward her, unsigned. "You told me you didn't need me," I said. "So don't." Her face crumpled, but I didn't flinch. I didn't comfort. The roles had reversed. She was the child again, but I no longer the parent. "I'm not here to rescue you," I said softly. "I'm here to remind you of your words." Her eyes filled, her voice a whisper. "You can't do this to me." I smiled, thin, cold. "I already did, 5 years ago, when you chose him over me." I left her there, broken over her coffee, clutching papers that would never bear my name. Outside, the air was sharp, cutting, but it felt clean. For the first time in years, I wasn't carrying her words like a burden. I had returned them, gift-wrapped in truth. There was no triumph, no joy, just clarity. She had chosen to erase me. I simply honored her choice. As I walked away, I thought of the last message she had sent me before blocking me in 2019, "You'll regret this." I didn't. Not then, not now.